those that are online this morning watching us in Sunday school. To God be the glory for the things that He has done. The month of February has been the month of honor, and we've been honoring our apostle all month long. And we have to give honor where honor is due to those that oversee us and those that are in positions to oversee us. So we have to take time to give honor. And so our preaching and teaching theme for the month of February, which just a few days, we March, is honor. And this morning, we're coming from Romans chapter 12, verses 9 through 21. Romans chapter 12, verses 9 through 21. And the title of our lesson this morning is Habits That Honor God. Habits that honor God. Paul, in the previous chapters of Romans, told us how we can be saved by the grace of God through Jesus Christ. In this chapter, he tells us how we can live for God through Jesus Christ. Paul, in verse 9, tells us the theme of this section. The theme is love. It is a different love than the world knows. Jesus was referring to this kind of love when he said in John 13, verses 34 to 35, a new commandment I give you, love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another. By this shall all men know that you are my disciples, if you have love one to another. Now they had been told how to love before, but here is a new commandment because they had never been told to love this way before. The love Jesus is speaking of in John 13 is a love that goes beyond politeness. It is a love that helps others become better. There is not one of us who has the capacity to express love to a whole community, but all of us can. He is talking about a love that seeks out people who need your love. Now we ought to do this until it becomes a habit, till it becomes just natural. So the title of our lesson this morning is Habits That Honor God. Now y'all know I'm interactive, so I like to hear from the congregation. How do you define a habit? Something you can't stop doing. Something you do continuously. One more. A routine. How many of us have bad habits? Everybody in here. How many of us have good habits? Everybody, you ain't got no good habit? Oh, you guys raised up? I didn't see your hand. We have bad habits and we have good habits. Now tell me some of your bad habits. Sugar, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, cookies and candy, Cheetos, Flaming Hots. Oh, Cheeto Puffs, they are good. The Flaming Hots are good too. Any other bad habits? Yes, ma'am. Huh? You're an athlete and you eat horribly. That's what you said. So what you gonna do about that habit? Start eating like an athlete? Okay, all right. Well, at least she being honest. Because we as adults be lying to ourselves. Shopping, yes. Amazon, that's me. Amazon and Temu, that's me. Bad habit. Soon as I see a sale, I'm on there ordering something. YouTube. Any other bad habits? Well, I looked at the definition of the word habit, And it says a settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. It's hard to give up that Pepsi, especially when it's cold. It's hard to give it up. But you have to work on taking away. Instead of drinking 3 a day, try drinking 1 a day. I think I've told this story before. Y'all remember when McDonald's used to have the dollar pops? They, no matter what size it was a dollar. So before I went to work, I would get a dollar Coke. And then on my way home, I would get a dollar Coke. That's $2 a day, 5 days a week, $10 I'm spending on Coke. So when I go to the doctor says you have to stop drinking so much pop. I didn't listen until I got in the hospital. And the doctor said, you got to cut out drinking so many Cokes. So I went down to 1 every other day, or 1 or 2 a week, and I started drinking more water, because that's what my body needed, was more water. Habits are hard. It's hard to give it up. When you keep doing it over and over every day as a routine, you get accustomed to doing it. And it becomes hard to break, like cursing. Cursing is a hard thing to do. Some of us have potty mouths. But we're praying and asking God, before you say the D word, say another word close to it. Before you say the MF word, say something else close to it that's clean. It takes practice. It just doesn't happen overnight. So Paul gives us some habits that will honor God in our text this morning. And that's Romans 12, verses 9 through 21. Let's look at these for a moment with an open ear and a receiving heart. In verses 9 through 11, the first point is elude evil and embrace good. Elude evil, E-L-U-E-L-U-E-L-U-D-E. I can't even spell. Elude evil and embrace good. Even when you want to pop out or pop off, pray. Especially when you're at work. There are some of your coworkers that you be ready to slap their head clean off their shoulders. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose your job. You're probably going to go to jail for battery. And they're still going to be working, making money. All because you didn't control your emotions and control your temper. It's hard sometimes. How should I say this? It's hard when people push you, especially in the workplace, where your money, where my check comes from. I sit in my office every day at work, and I talk to people, and the first thing they say, well, I need my job. And the first question I ask them is, why you didn't think about that before you did what you did to end up in my office? Because you got a verbal, a written, a final, and now you sitting here telling me, crying to me, that you need your job. Why did you not need your job when you got that verbal warning? That written warning should have woke you up, and the final written should have really woke you up to say, look, I need to be serious about my job. I need to be serious about my income. This is what I use to sustain myself, if you're by yourself, or your family. So we have to elude evil and embrace good, even if you don't want to. Because like I said, sometimes you ready to go off and just stop. Just stop and just like ask your question, what would God do? And hopefully you will stop doing what you were getting ready to do. And you won't pop out. Sometimes you can't save people from popping out. Sometimes they just pop off and they like, oh my God, what did I just say? They don't think before they react. And you have to think about what I'm saying before it comes out. And you can't lie and say the devil made you do it. We use that excuse, the devil made me. No. You already had a plan before the devil even got involved. You said, but when you was getting up this morning, when I get to work, I'm going to let her have it. I'm going to tell her exactly how I feel and all the head movements and all that and this and that, snapping and all that. You was ready when you got to work to let her, and the hand movements, you know how the young folks do with the hand and moving the head. You was ready. But have you been ready to really go off on somebody and the words don't come out your mouth? Thank God. Thank God. It doesn't cost you $1 to be kind and to be good to somebody. In the world that we're living in today, we have to be good because there's so much evil out there. There's evil in the White House. Every time I turn the news on, he's talking about taking something away or doing something against what's already going on. But this is who the people voted for. This is who they went to the polls, and I guess they thought they was going to get another stimulus check. I enjoyed my stimulus, I'm going to tell you. It stimulated my wallet because I had a couple extra dollars. You know, and money will get you caught up for the love of money. For us ladies that are single, we see a brother, driving a nice car and got some nice clothes on and looking good and everything. And then you get to know him and he turned out to be a Ray Ray. A Pookie, right. Pookie. Want to be on the streets. Don't want to go punch a clock. But I love him. And he does nice things for me. He buys me what I want to buy while he going upside your head. Love is not supposed to hurt. If you love someone, you're not going to hurt them deliberately. And this is what we need to teach our young ladies. If a man is putting his hands on you, baby, walk away and call the police. No. No, that man mistreat you. And for the men, if she mistreating you, get your stuff and leave. There's men being abused as well as women. And they don't want to say nothing because I'm a man. You a man, then you go shoot up somewhere because you full of anger and frustration. And you mad at the world, and then you go do something stupid like pick up a gun and just start shooting folks, go to a mall. It's like, I hate turning on the news. It's like, it's disheartening. It really is. It's like, it was in Lake Station where a man killed his kids, his wife, and then killed himself. Now, if you want to kill yourself, just do it. And answer to God for that. But don't take nobody else's life with you. I said, that's Lake Station. That's just right down the street. And they were some cute little kids, too. And the wife was 27 years old, 28, gone. Now, they family got to bury a whole family. A whole family. Because the man did not deal with his, I don't know why I'm going this way. The man did not deal with his issues. We don't. Come on, Nurse P. We are afraid to address what's wrong with us. And one thing you know when you look in the mirror, you see yourself. All your flaws, all your wrinkles, all my gray hairs, I see when I look in the mirror. But some people cannot handle how they look when they look in the mirror. They can't handle what they see. And then when you look in the mirror, you see yourself spiritually. God shows you who you are. But we have to deal with what's wrong with us. Mental health is real. Mental health is real. Every day I turn on the news, somebody has killed somebody. There's not a day that goes by that somebody is not getting killed, and it's on the news. I don't care if it's Chicago, Atlanta, all these major cities where us is. Killing folk. Like they have no conscience. Like they have no fear. I'm afraid of God. I don't know about y'all. I'm afraid of God like I'm afraid of my mama. I'm 52 years old and I still say yes ma'am, no ma'am. You know, but that's something that's taught. You teach your kids at a young age and you still values in them. Because some of these kids, if I had a switch or a belt, I didn't think about talking back. Because if I thought about, y'all remember when Daffy Duck was on Bugs Bunny show and his mouth got slapped off and it was on the floor? That would have been me. That was my auntie, and that was especially my auntie. My mother didn't do too much. She was kind of laid back. She let my auntie instill the punishment. But you could talk back if you want to. Your mouth was going to be next to your feet. And you're going to have to pick it up and put it back on. Put it back on. Exactly. It's like some of these parents today, they need real help. Prayer first. But they need help. You don't let your child talk back to you. Well, first of all, you don't let them talk back to the teacher at school. Because if they're talking back to the teacher, they're talking back to you at home. Because home is where it starts. That's where you teach your child. You honor your teacher. You honor adults that are over you. Respect. It goes a long way. The Bible says train up a child in the way that they should go. And when they grow old, they won't depart from it. That means if you train them up as a child and they get old, when they get grown, they'll remember. They'll remember what you trained them. Now, us that have grown children, sometimes grown children give you more gray hairs now than they do when they were smaller. I got two of them. And especially boys. It's boys. Boys are something else. Boys. Saying girls, boys, both of them. Both of them. It seems like when they get grown, they need more attention. And don't have no grandbabies and pay the grandbabies more attention than you pay them. Well, when I was little, you didn't do that for me. If you don't get your grown self somewhere and sit down. You didn't cut my meat up when I was 6 years old. You don't even remember when you were 6 years old. You better get somewhere and sit down. Honor. Teach your children to honor and be good. Now, will they stray away? Yes. Will they test your Jesus? Yes. Will they test the teacher's Jesus? Yes. Keep praying for them. Because the streets don't have to do too much to get them. They can show them a good time, but not a long time. That's why we have to continue to pray for our children and love them. Proverbs 8:13 says, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil. We're supposed to hate evil. Genuine love knows how to hate evil while loving the one who has done it. That means when somebody mistreats you, you're still supposed to love them. They got quiet. It's hard. It's very hard to love someone that has done you wrong. Because all you can think about is what they did to you. Forgiveness is not for them. It's for you. And when our kids do something to us, Lord Jesus, you gotta pray sure enough. Because you'll be ready to say, I'm done with you. Don't say nothing to me. If you see me walking down the street, keep driving. I'm not getting in your car. Children will take you there. But I learned that you still love them and still do right by them. Because you don't have to give an account of how they treat you, but you have to give an account of how you treat them. And God looks at you, and he looks at them. And when they get up to heaven, he going to say, why you do your mama like that? Why did you not do X, Y, and Z when your mama asked you? And they're going to say, no. Return to sender, because you're not coming up here. Return to sender, since you don't know. This thing about salvation is real. It's real, and young people don't understand. You got to have a relationship with God. You have to have a relationship with God. You need God in your life. That's why we start like these little kids over here. You start them early. And so when they grow up in God. Because when you get 20, 25, 30, you're going to sure enough need the Lord. And you're going to need to know how to pray. And you ain't going to be able to go to your mama or daddy. You got to learn how to pray and talk to God for yourself. Develop a relationship with him for yourself. Well, I don't know how to pray. You know how to talk on the phone? It's the same thing. Just like I'm talking to you right now. That's how you took God. You know I need you. I don't know which way to go. I need direction from you. I need you to come into my life. I'm surrendering myself to you. I'm giving myself over to you, God. Take me, mold me, shape me into what you want me to be. It's as simple as that. I don't have time to pray. I got to go to work. Pray on your way to work. We make excuses for everything. We make excuses for everything until we need them. Then it can't get you up off your knees. Lord, I need you. My body is aching in pain. When you should have been praying 6 months ago. And maybe that pain wouldn't hit your body. We got to be serious about honoring God. So first, we need to elude evil and embrace good. Next, we are to expect tribulation and endure patiently. Tough times are going to come. We are not exempt. And it feels like those that are in the church catch more hell than those that are in the world. And that's supposed to be. Because how we get through problems shows the world that we have a God that is a problem solver. Most of us don't expect tribulation, but we get it. We get laid off from our jobs, fussed at from our boss, go out to get ready for work and get in your car, you got a flat tire. Paul tells us we are to endure these things patiently because they did not catch God by surprise. During trials, you usually have an audience of spectators looking to see how you're going to react. There's always somebody watching you. There used to be a song in the 80s by a guy named Rockwell, said, I always feel like somebody's watching me. I got some 80s babies in here, some 70s babies. Somebody's always watching you to see how you're going to react. Well, let me see how Pastor Bill's going to react to this today. And I'm going to react just how you expect me to. But when I go home behind closed doors, I'm going to react how I want to react. But I'm not going to let you see me out of character. Because we're human. We're human. I'm human. And we react. We have feelings. We're going to react. But there's always someone watching you. So you have to be careful how you react. She brought me a whole box of Kleenex over here. My eyes are watering. Allergies are kicking in. Whew. There's always someone watching you to see how you're going to react. Don't give them a show. Don't give them the reaction that they're seeking. Give them the God reaction. Somebody tells you something that you don't want to hear. Just tell them thank you and keep walking. And while you're walking, pray. And then go into your secret closet, close the door, hoop and holler, and come back out with a smile on your face. Don't give the spectators a show. Don't give them a show. So habits that honor God, the first one, elude evil and embrace good. The second one, expect tribulation and endure patiently. And the third one is eliminate vengeance and endow forgiveness. Forgiveness is a hard pill to swallow. I said forgiveness is a hard pill to swallow all the time for me. It's hard to forgive somebody that have outright just misused you and mistreated you and you ain't do nothing to them. Now, if you did something to somebody and they react, that's different. But somebody just out the blue just talk about you for no reason, it's hard. When they come back and say, I'm sorry for what I said. And you looking at them like, yeah, right. You ain't sorry. You said what you said. But I forgive you. And you got to be sincere in your forgiveness. Don't just say it just to be saying it. Be having some seriousness. Be sincere about your forgiveness. you're protecting your feelings. You're reacting personal instead of spiritually. You acting carnally instead of saying, "I forgive you" with the love of God. Always throw that on with the love of God. I forgive you for what you said about me. We got a whole cartoon going on. I forgive you for how you mistreated me. I forgive you for what you did to me, how you hurt me. Now, healing is a process. You just don't heal overnight. It takes time, especially when you've been hurt by somebody you love. And it's a process. I was talking to one of my coworkers, and she um, lost her mom, and she was saying that people were saying it's okay, be strong, and we tell people that, be strong and it's gonna be all right. But how do we know? Somebody losing somebody close to them, and you're telling them to be strong. What if I don't want to be strong? What if I just don't want to? Uh-huh. 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 What you can say is, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. And that's keep it short and simple. I'm praying for you. Because you can say I need you to be strong. What if I don't want to be strong? What if I want to cry? And I don't care how long somebody has been gone. When that hit you, that grief hit you at that moment. My dad was killed 27, it'll be 28 years ago this year that he was killed. And every once in a while I think about him and I just start crying. 28 years later. It's a process. After he died, I stayed in the bed for a whole week. I got sick behind it. It hit me hard. Death is a hitter, one hitter quitter. And if you're not prayed up, it'll take you right on out of here. But grief is a process. And when I say a process, I mean it takes time. You just don't stop grieving overnight. You don't stop grieving overnight. It doesn't happen in 2 nights. It, it may not happen in 2 years. It might take 25 or 30 years before you officially can move on. But God gives us the grace to be able to live and deal with it and handle it on our own time. Some people get over death in a few years. Some people do get over it in a few days, but they process it on their level of processing. Everybody can't process death that fast. Because your heart is broken. You're not going to see that person anymore. You've been seeing them for so long. They're a part of your life. And now there's an empty space that you have to ask God to fill because that person is gone. And you have to forgive. Is there somebody that you mad at right now that you refuse to forgive? You got quiet in here? Huh? Not really. Is somebody you mad at that you don't want to forgive? That's good. Huh? It is. That's good. Uh-huh. that's good. Uh-huh. Hmm. Hmm. Just continue to pray. Uh-huh. 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 You can't let it consume you because people are gonna be people. People are gonna be who they are. And we can't control grown folks, even our children. As much as we want them to do what we want them to do, they have a mind of their own and they're gonna do what they want to do. And it's our job to be there for them when they mess up and come back and say, I'm sorry. Forgiveness. Remember, it's not for you, it's for them, it's not for them, it's for you. Because he's gonna come and apologize to you. But this is a process that he needs to go through to see that he's wrong. And when he comes back to apologize, you just say, I've been praying that you would come back and apologize. And I'm grateful to God that you did. But never let it consume you, especially when you did nothing wrong. Because guilt will eat you up. What did I do? What did I say? And then you start going back in your mind like, well, what happened? Have you ever had somebody be mad at you and you don't know why they mad at you? And then you start replaying in your mind, well, what did I do? What did I say? You didn't do nothing and you didn't say nothing. It's just how they are. Hmm. It's just how they are. But don't let it stop you from living. Don't let it stop you from living because they can't forgive for whatever that you didn't do. Because people get mad sometimes for no reason. They just get mad. There's some people that are never happy. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Perception is everything. How you see something is how you see it through your eyes. That's why we have everybody wear glasses. There's quite a few people in here with glasses. Everybody has a different prescription that's set to help you see better. We don't have the same prescription. Some of us have bifocals that are blind, like me. I got the invisible bifocals. Pay a couple extra dollars and get the invisible line. Because you know, bifocals back in the day, you walk around here like the nutty professor. But now they got the invisible bifocal. And when I go to my appointment, you want the invisible? Yes, sir. Add that to my prescription. I need the invisible. Add it to my prescription. I'll pay the extra $25 for the no line bifocal. Because each one of us are different. And we have to learn how to embrace being different. If you have two kids, they're not the same. Elder Patrice has twins, and they're not the same. They look alike on the outside, but on the inside, it's two different individuals. When you have two children, you have the child you can depend on, and the other child you got to pray on. You can depend on that one. I'm going to call them. And then you got the one you got to pray over. Lord, help my child. Open their eyes. Let them see the error of their ways. They're not alike. Sister and brother, they not alike. They got the same blood running through their veins, but they are not alike. Uh-huh. And then sometimes we have that child that needs extra special attention. Even as they get older, they still need mama. The needy one, exactly. They need their mama. So we have to endow forgiveness. We have to forgive. Forgive, forgive. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. It's not yours. Vengeance is mine. Put them in God's hands and allow God to deal with them. You can't fix it. You don't have the tools to fix it. Let God fix it for you. Jesus gave us what we did and do not deserve. He gave up his life that we might have life. And while we were yet sinners, Jesus died for us. That is forgiveness. That honored the Father. And these habits that we talked about honor God. And I have a question. Are these habits found in your life? Are you practicing? Let me go back. Are you practicing eluding evil and embracing good? Are you enduring tribulation patiently? And are you endowing forgiveness? These are habits that we honor God. And as we live this life, we have to practice these things to honor God. And that's our lesson for this morning. Habits that honor God. Everything we do, we need to honor God and embrace God in our habits. And if you got bad habits, start practicing good habits. Mother Paris, you had a habit with Pepsi. Start cutting down how much you drink a day. If you drink 4 a day, start drinking 2 a day. And then you start drinking 2 a day, then go down to 1 a day. Or substitute the Pepsi for water. She looking at me like, yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's the caffeine. Drink water. You drink water? Okay. Water ain't got no flavor. They got the little things you could drop in the water to give it flavor. Those are really good too. The Starburst, those too sweet for me. I like the Celsius ones. Half a pack. Walmart brand. Uh-huh. Yup. Peach mango sounds good. Well, this is our lesson for this morning. Habits that honor God. Continue in your habits that honor God. Work on your bad habits. Work on your bad habits. And watch God do the rest. I want to thank you all for your attention this morning. I want to thank those that joined us online. And come back at 10:30 for our Black History.